Hello, and welcome to Folger Encores. I'm Carolyn Forche, and I'm happy to be able to speak with you today. The Folger has been sharing selections from their plays, music, and readings with you in this Encores series. This week, we're revisiting the annual Not Just Another Day Off, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King through poetry and oratory. This selection comes from our 2018 reading, subtitled On Civil Disobedience. The event featured poets Jericho Brown, Mark McMorris, and Lauren Elaine, reading from the poetry collection The Mighty Stream, Poems in Celebration of Martin Luther King, which I had the pleasure of editing along with Jackie Kay, then Makar of Scotland, which is the equivalent of our poet laureate. The work of these poets was interspersed with actors reading the speeches of Dr. King. When he was awarded an honorary degree in civil law at Newcastle University in 1967, Dr. Martin Luther King said, "There are three urgent and indeed great problems that we face today: the problem of racism, the problem of poverty, and the problem of war." This anthology gathers poets from both sides of the Atlantic to address, 50 years later, the challenges set out by Dr. King. Composing poems is a meditative, spiritual act of resistance. Poetry's power lies in its ability to extend and sustain the empathetic imagination. In the spirit of Dr. King and his work as a humanitarian and activist, this anthology brings together poems that offer powerful testimonies to the urgent issues Dr. King defines and represents the polyphony of voices that speak in resistance to our continuing problems of racism, poverty, and war. In these selections, you will hear poets Lauren Elaine and Jericho Brown reading their work featured in The Mighty Stream, as well as actor James Johnson reading the moving conclusion of Dr. King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech. We hope that you will join us for this year's celebration of Dr. King and other leaders of the social justice movement. And I encourage you to visit folger.edu to hear recordings of other Not Just Another Day Off celebrations. Please be sure to join us again for these weekly episodes of Encores, highlighting all that the Folger has to offer. Thank you.
Martin Luther King Jr. mourns Trayvon Martin. For you, son, I dreamed a childhood unburdened by hate, a boyhood of adventure, skinned knees and hoops, first loves and small rebellions. I dreamed you whole and growing into your own manhood, writing its definitions with your daily being. I dreamed you alive, living. For you, America's African heir, I dreamed a future of open doors, of opportunity without oppression, of affirmation and action. I dreamed Oprah and Obama. I dreamed Colin and Condoleezza. I dreamed doctors and dancers, lawyers and linebackers, models, musicians, mechanics, preachers and professors and police, authors, activists, astronauts, even all Black as Jesus is. I dreamed you dapper, the black skin of you polished to glow, your curls, your kinks, your locks, your bald, your wild, your freshly barbered, all beautiful. I dreamed you wearing whatever the hell you want and not dying for it. For you, brother, I dreamed a world softened by love, free from the fear that makes too early ancestors of our men, turns our boys into targets, headlines, and ghosts. I had a dream that my children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Sweet song of my sorrow, sweet dream deferred. For you, gone one, I dreamed justice, her scales tipped away from your extinction, her eyes and arms unbound and open to you at last. Sorry. Thank you so much to Terry and her crew for today and for all the other readers doing this, bringing these words to life. This poem is called Heaven, and it's written for Sandra Annette Bland. Where does a Black girl go when her body is emptied of her? And her wild voice, where does it sing its story when the knots of history make a grave of her throat? What of her future, blue broken, unmade? Her name, say it, Sandra, unhoused. Her dreams and memories lost to their source. Where does a Black girl's love go when her heart is snapped shut like a cell door, the key out of reach as any justice? And what gift is lost when a Black girl is made a body, her light dimmed into shadow, gone? How many angels weep when a Black girl is torn into wings? And this last poem is an elegy for Tamir Rice. I'm a poet, so I'm always like, what can I do? I just write a thing. Elegy for Tamir. This was going to be a curse poem, me hexing the man who ghosted you, slivering his days into 2-second increments of agony. I began writing the playground you would make of his body, surfing his blood, making monkey bars of his ribs, dancing his heart's rhythm on his neck, an inexhaustible mischief, an incorrigible spirit of boy let loose in the white country of the murderer's unshielded body. I would wish him dead, but I want him nowhere near the realm he exiled you to. So instead, I composed a soundtrack for his nightmares, a mixtape of your laugh / the gurgle of your blood exiting the wound he gave you / a festival of sirens / your sister's scream / bang, repeat, repeat, repeat. This, I understand, is the unchained melody of rage. This is the grief talking. But to write his haunting is to name you hell, and you have been misnamed enough, sweet boy. I make of these words an altar instead. I breathe this poem into a prayer, each syllable a taper burning in memory of you. Sweet boy, let me build you here a new body, radiantly Black, limber, poised to become its most beautiful becoming. Let it be spirited with star song and rich with tomorrows. Let me make you a lifetime of days honeyed with love, feast. You are safe here. Let me write you again into your name, Tamir. Baptize you with tongue and tears, Tamir. Tamir, let me write you a Black boy's heaven where freedom is a verb conjugated by your being, where your only synonym is beloved, blessed, child of the universe. Instead, I imagine you there, beginning. Thank you.
I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I will go back to the south with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you.
I will not shoot myself in the head, and I will not shoot myself in the back, and I will not hang myself with a trash bag. And if I do, I promise you, I will not do it in a police car while handcuffed, or in the jail cell of a town I only know the name of because I have to drive through it to get home. Yes, I may be at risk, but I promise you, I trust the maggots and the ants and the roaches who live beneath the floorboards of my house to do what they must to any carcass, more than I trust an officer of the law of the land to shut my eyes like a man of God might, or to cover me with a sheet so clean my mother could have used it to tuck me in. When I kill me, I will kill me the same way most Americans do. I promise you, cigarette smoke, or a piece of meat on which I choke, or so broke I freeze in one of these winters we keep calling worst. I promise that if you hear of me dead anywhere near a cop, then that cop killed me. He took me from us and left my body, which is, no matter what we've been taught, greater than the settlement a city can pay a mother to stop crying, and more beautiful than the brand new shiny bullet fished from the folds of my brain. For this last poem, I'll just say that the only thing, there's been a lot said here about struggle today, which is truthfully a major part of our history, but I am also astounded by our history of resilience. And I am always overwhelmed by the joy of Black people. So this next poem is sort of about that, because the only thing that I can think that I love more than poetry is, the only thing I love more than poetry is cuddling. I've been trying to write a poem about cuddling for ever, so I think I figured it out. Stand. Peace on this planet, or guns glowing hot. We lay there together as if we were getting something done. It felt like planting a garden or planning a meal for a people who still need feeding. All that touching, or barely touching, not saying much, not adding anything. The cushion of it, the skin and occasional sigh, all seemed like work worth mastering. I'm sure somebody died while we made love. Somebody killed somebody black. I thought then of holding you as a political act. I may as well have held myself. We didn't stand for one thought, didn't do a damn thing. And though you left me, I'm glad we didn't. Thank you so much.